Hi, I'm Paul. I'm the Moet Hennessy ambassador here in Ireland. Today we're going to talk to you about the most iconic champagne, Moet Imperial. So the first thing to notice down the neck of the bottle is the name, Moet. Now a lot of people think, is it Moet? Moet. But it's very definitely Moet. This comes from the family name. Moet was founded by a man called Claude Moet in 1743. Claude moved to Epinay in the 1700s. And he purchased land, he dug cellars of what is now known as Avenue de Champagne, which is the most expensive avenue in Europe. Did you know that still to this day, Moet have the longest champagne cellars in the world? They're 28 kilometers long. So I've already mentioned the name Moet. There's two names on this one. Chandon also appears in the bottle. Where does that name come from? Well, Victor Moet, who was Claude Moet's great-grandson, took over the house with his brother-in-law, Pierre Gabriel Chandon, and that's where the two families came together. Another thing to notice is a star. We see two stars in the bottle, one up the top and one down the bottom. Now a lot of champagne bottles will carry this star, and what does a star in a bottle of champagne mean? Well, it's a reference point back to 1811. It was a comet that actually flew over the Champagne region, and it was visible all throughout the harvest. And this was the first good year of vintage, so a lot of champagne bottles carry this to signify that important date. So if we look at the bottle, we'll notice this is a champagne. So, is it a champagne? Is it a sparkling wine? Very much in the same vein. If I stood here with a bottle of Hennessy, we'd call that a cognac, not a brandy. This is a champagne. That is because there's rules, regulation. There's what we call an appellation in place to define what is a champagne. So as I mentioned, champagne has very strict rules and regulations on what goes into its creation. For example, the region where it comes from this place called Champagne in the northeast of France. Also, this type of grapes, it must come from a specific variety of grapes. The main grapes we use and what we use in Moet Imperial is Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, and Chardonnay. Another rule about champagne would be that champagne must be aged in the bottle for a minimum of 15 months, but in Moet we age for a minimum of 24 months. Did you know Moet Imperial is the world's most popular champagne? In fact, a bottle of Moet Imperial is opened on average every 12 seconds. So if we look back at the bottle, we see the iconic red tie in the seal. This first appears in a bottle of Moet in 1887. The tie embodies elegance, while the red seal was inspired by royal courts throughout Europe. But this is Moet Imperial. The name Imperial was actually inspired by the French general Napoleon. Napoleon was actually great friends with the grandson of Claude Moet and visited the cellars on many occasions. So there you have it, the story of Moet. So when you see a bottle of Moet Imperial, remember the tie, the red seal, it exudes elegance. Exactly what the house is, it embodies elegance. It's a champagne. So this means there's rules and regulations around how it's produced. So it's produced at the highest quality for you. Enjoy.